One thing that Jack said, man, Jack is, man, he's one of my favorites, man. We love you, man. But one thing that he said something about little rooms. And we started in a little, little rooms. Great thing to start in little rooms. Yeah, man. That's it.
Long live Uncle Mooney.
There's a moment every creative person runs into, whether they like to admit it or not. A moment when you realize people aren't admiring what you do anymore. They're expecting you to repeat it forever. And that's a different kind of pressure. Because once the world decides you're brilliant, you're no longer allowed to just be yourself.
Hey, Miss Donda, you're running to my mama, please tell her I said say something. I'm starting to believe ain't no such thing as heaven's trumpets. No after over, this is it done. If there's a heaven, you would think they let you speak to your son. Maybe she has in the form of a baby's laugh I heard passing by in a stroller, reminding me, hey, keep rolling on, no. Maybe she has with the prick of a blade of grass I've been laying on way too long, got me itchy, got up and roamed a little more.
But the quiet truth that people overlook is brilliance is a gift until it becomes a requirement. That's when it stops feeling like a talent and starts feeling like surveillance. You have to be a version of you they already fell in love with. We didn't just love Andre 3000, we held on to him so tightly that the love started to feel like weight. And that's the wild part about it. We didn't realize the weight we were putting on him. Because to us, it looked like admiration. To him, it started to feel like expectation dressed as praise. Every verse became an event, every feature became an expectation, and that's why he confuses people today. They think he drifted, they think he got strange, when really, he's facing a trap every gifted person eventually meets. What does creativity become? When brilliance turns into an obligation instead of a discovery. That's the line right there nobody wants to cross. The moment when creation stops being play and becomes proof. That's the part we rarely talk about. And once you understand it, Andre's silence makes more sense than anything he's ever said out loud. Silence isn't absence. Sometimes it's the only place a person can hear their own voice again. What made Andre different?
So I'm watching her fine ass walk to my bedroom and thought to myself, that's the shape of things to come. She said, why in the club you don't make it precipitate? You know, make it rain when you can make it thunderstorm. I'm like, why? The world needs sun, the hood needs funds. There's a war going on and half the battle is guns. How dare I throw it on the floor when people are poor? So I write like Edgar Allan to restore. Got a cord, umbilical attached to a place that can't afford no landscaping or window draping. This old lady told me if I ain't got nothing good, say Nathan. That's why I don't talk much. I swear it don't cost much to pay attention to me. I tell it like it is, then I tell it how it could be. The hood be requesting my services. Oh, don't get nervous, it's step your game up time. These ain't them same old rhymes designed to have you dancing in some club. Niggas ride to me, women be up in they tub, exfoliating with they pom-poms, yelling go 3000. I'm in my whatever, bumping 100 miles and running. Summon, woman, coming, sit down. Heard you need some plumbing, done in. I'm in a swell mood, a rather swole mood, until she told me that she told dude.
There were a lot of great artists in his era, especially. But Andre was doing something else entirely.
So, I typed a text to a girl I used to see, saying that I chose this cutie pie with whom I wanna be. And I apologize if this message gets you down. Then I CC'd every girl that I'd CC round town. And hate to see y'all frown, but I'd rather see her smile at wetness all around me, true. But I'm no island, peninsula maybe. Makes no sense, I know crazy. Give up all this that's in my lap, no looking back. Spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. They dip as quick as they can. The atmosphere is now ripped. I'm so like a pip. I'm glad it's night, so the light from the sun would not burn me on my bum when I shoot the moon. High jump the broom like a preemie out the womb. My partner yelling too soon. Don't do it. Reconsider. Read some litter. Sure on the subject. You sure? You know we got your back like chiropractic. If that do you dirty, we'll wipe her out as in detergent. Now hurry, go on to the altar. I know you ain't a pimp, but pimp, remember what I taught you.
Some artists were masters at catching a pocket, sliding into a melody so naturally it felt like the beat was forcing your hips to move. Others had a gift for saying exactly what the music made them feel, painting the kind of emotion that sunk listeners deeper into the record. Andre did both, every time. But the crazy part being, every time he did it, we raised the bar without asking what that was doing to him. On a song, he shifted its gravity. He made rhythms feel elastic. He found angles and beats that no one else heard until he revealed them. And once he revealed them, it felt obvious. The way genius always does in hindsight. People used to listen to a new Outkast verse and think, how did he find that pocket in the tone you used for Brilliance? And the more he surprised us, the more we depended on him to surprise us again. That's how the expectation quietly formed, through admiration so deep it almost turned into ownership. Expectation as a cage. Cages don't always look like limits. Sometimes they look like applause. We forget how young Andre was, well, both of them were, when the world decided he was exceptional. Outkast wasn't just successful, they were transformative. They helped shift the sound of an entire region before Andre had the chance to understand what success would cost him. And because he was so good so early, people just didn't expect music from him. They were expecting moments. Every line had to be layered, every flow had to be innovative, every feature had to be better than the last one. That kind of pressure doesn't feel like praise when you're the one carrying it. It feels like a ceiling disguised as a spotlight. And for a while, Andre handled it with grace. But somewhere in that journey, the demand for greatness became louder than the joy of making it. You can hear it in his interviews. He talks about second-guessing himself, about not wanting to disappoint people, about the pressure of walking into a studio knowing the world expected a masterpiece before he even touched the mic.
It's that shit that'll make you call your mama and say, hey, I'm sorry for begging for all them clothes you couldn't afford. And it's the type of shit that'll make you call your rap partner and say, I'm sorry, I'm awkward, my fault for fucking up the tours. I hated all the attention, so I ran from it. Fuck it if we did, but I hope we lose no fans from it. I'm a grown-ass kid, you know I ain't never cared about no damn money. Why do we try so hard to be stars, just to dodge comments?
It's the kind of expectation that turns talent into tension. And that's where the anxiety starts to grow. When praise becomes surveillance. The strange thing about being loved by millions is that it doesn't always feel like support. Sometimes it feels like being watched. Andre wasn't just admired, he became a cultural reference point, a measuring stick, a standard people used to judge everything around him. But the problem with being the standard is simple. You can't change without disappointing people who need you to stay the same. And that's something a lot of us understand, even if we never say it out loud. Everyone who's ever been good at something knows the fear of disappointing the image people built of you. You end up protecting their version of you instead of growing into your own. Andre felt that pressure from every angle, from fans, from hip-hop culture, from the narrative people created around him. A narrative he didn't write. The more people celebrated his past, the harder it became for him to imagine a future that felt honest. Innovation turned into obligation. Creativity is supposed to be discovery, a search, a conversation between curiosity and expression. But as Andre's legend grew, the curiosity got replaced by expectation. People didn't want him to experiment. They wanted him to deliver, to perform, to prove. He could walk into a studio with a simple idea, but the room changed the moment he said, "I'm working on something." Suddenly it wasn't a song anymore. It was a statement. That's the kind of environment that drains a person who creates from feeling rather than formula. And that's when the pressure begins to outweigh inspiration. Breaking point. The lists, the rankings, the weight. Andre's breaking point wasn't the stage. It wasn't the crowds. It wasn't fame. It was the list. Every year, another ranking placed him among the greatest rappers of all time. Top 3, top 5, top 10. It didn't matter where he landed. The message was always the same. You're one of the best. But we can't fully give it to you until you make a solo album. People raised him up with one hand and pulled him down with the other. His excellence became a kind of scorecard, and every conversation circled back to that same question. Where's the album? Not out of disrespect, but out of a deep need to see him fulfill a standard he never actually set. What people called admiration, Andre experiences pressure. And eventually that pressure stopped feeling like love. It started feeling like surveillance. The kind that makes you question whether your next step can ever match the version of you people worshipped.
Man, I keep having this reoccurring image where I'm standing on top of church's chicken playing guitar. Looked over and I see B.O.B. with this string cigar. He's standing on top of Dunkin' Donuts, it's like he own it. We at the corner of give it to him and they don't want it. We out here somewhere in mid-Europe, they out here joning. My niggas do it way too much sure, my chain lonely. But they don't know nothing about black pearls, but I will show them why the world sleeping on black girls. Hey, I don't know, man, silverback stacks. Jumping out the jungle, blowing tiger stripe bubbles with go to hell bubble gum. When I was younger, space shuttle got hung in front of everyone in Mom tells me to stay humble, but do not understand. One of these mumbles will make them throw up their arms and hands, and I'll stumble and they will know I'll put on my pants one leg at a time like they do. Pay us no mind, but everybody looking while we do it. It take us more time. Excuse me if I'm no exhibitionist. According to the internet, 3000 got a big old dictionary full of words. He must know how to use them. It also says I play the violin, and that ain't true, but you give me 6 strings and a pick, and I will make a good talk where I ain't gotta say shit. And I encourage any child to pick up some instrument, cause if you're mad at your dad or mom, you can grab it and strum. Eat your cabbage and corn. By the time you're done, you'll finally realize that they meant you no harm. They was trying to save your crazy ass for what's to come. 3000 motherfucker, Mr. Tell me some.
When brilliance becomes burden. At some point, Andre realized he couldn't outrun the version of himself the world kept holding up. And that realization changed the way he looked at music completely. He didn't lose interest, he lost freedom. When the world expects genius, play disappears, curiosity disappears, joy disappears. And for someone like 3 Stacks, the absence of joy is the true breaking point. That's when he stepped back, not from music, but from being watched while making it. The turn inward. People think Andre went quiet, but I'm sure he didn't. He just shifted where his creativity lived. He became more inward, more reflective, more focused on family, on being fully present with the people closest to him, on exploring ideas without needing to shape them for an audience. This was recentering, and the world finally saw it in the most unexpected way. Andre walking through airports with a flute. No entourage, no production, just him moving at a human pace. He was finally doing something that didn't require excellence from him. He could be curious without being graded. He could create without pressure. He could exist without being measured. That flute wasn't randomness. To him, it was relief. It was a man rediscovering creativity on his own terms. The evolution of genius. What looks like withdrawal from the outside is often someone finally building a life that feels sustainable on the inside. Andre found out that peace isn't the absence of noise, it's the presence of self. He didn't step away to protect the legacy, he stepped away to protect the mind that had been asked to perform brilliance for too long. In a culture obsessed with output, Andre 3000 became one of the few examples of someone choosing wellness over worship. And that's why his story resonates more deeply than people realize. He's not running from anything. He's running towards something. He's running towards clarity, intention, self-respect, presence. What we should do for him and for people like him. By the time you understand all of this, something changes. Andre didn't disappear because he stopped caring. He stepped back because he finally started caring about himself in a different way. And that means our role changes too. If Andre teaches us anything, it's that some people need room to grow in ways we can't measure. Some evolution happens quietly, away from the scoreboard, and it's still real. Support looks different for someone like him. It isn't applause or pressure or holding him hostage to who he was at 25. It's giving him space to breathe without treating his silence like something that needs to be fixed. Everyone who's ever been good at something knows the fear of disappointing the image of people built around them. And sometimes the most loving thing we can do is stop guarding that image for them. Some people feel supported when we stop trying to pull them back into who they used to be and simply appreciate the person they're becoming. So if we care about Andre, Benjamin, the person, not the idea, maybe the best way to show it is to stop asking him to prove anything. Let him live. Let him create his own time. And when he does share something, meet it with the same grace he's been trying to give himself. That's the kind of support he would actually feel. Not pressure, understanding. What Andre reminds me of is something we've talked about before on this channel. How the world doesn't always know what to do with people who grow quietly. Some artists evolve in ways you can't track on a chart. The same way some mature in ways you don't see until later. It's the same sentiment that we explored in the Jason Weaver piece, the Kai Cenat piece, the NBA Youngboy piece, where the real value wasn't in the spotlight, but in the way he carried himself when nobody was looking. Andre's story feels like an echo of that. A reminder that people who move with intention don't always move loudly, but they move honestly. And if you recognize that kind of growth, you're already part of the quiet generation we're building here. Emotional intelligence so you don't move emotionally.
We work nights, we some vampires. Niggas gather round the beat like a campfire, singing folk songs, but not no kumbaya, my lord. You download it for free, we get charged back for it. I know you're saying they won't know, they won't miss it. Besides, I ain't a thief, they won't pay me a visit. So if I come to your job, take your corn on the cob and take a couple kernels off it, that would be alright with you. Hell no. Yeah, exactamundo, but we just keep recording, and it ain't to get no condo and candy Bentley Fanning with no panties in Miami, and that cute little chick named Tammy that you took to the Grammy. See, we do it for that boy that graduated, that look you in your eyes real tough and say appreciate it, and that he wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for your CD number 9. And he's standing with his baby mama Kiki, and she crying, talking about that they used to get hot to me in high school, and they used to make love to me in college. Then they told me about their first date, listening to my tunes and how he liked her fingernail polish. I say, hate to cut you off, but I gotta go. I wish you could tell me more, but I'm off to the studio. Gotta write tonight. Hey, can you put us in your raps? I don't see why not. Devin is the dude. You gon' probably hear him talking about
rolling up another Swisser, listening to the beat again, drinking, but we're concentrating, smoking another sweet.